This is the only JQL Jira tutorial you need so you can learn how to use JQL, especially if you're a beginner. I can guarantee that if you watch this from start to finish, you'll learn how to make JQL queries like an expert. Be sure to stick until the end because I'm revealing an easy JQL query that you can use right away. This is what I recommend doing. Watch along, but as you watch, also do the things that I'm doing. Play around with the filters that I'll be showing on the screen. Actually use Jira, and that will be the best way for you to learn. To follow along, create your free account with Jira using my link down below. And for the data that I'm using, download my free guide to using Jira at alvinthepm.com/free guide. But first, let me explain what is JQL. JQL stands for Jira Query Language. Think of JQL as if you were using a search engine like Google, but it's on steroids because you're manipulating the variables that are behind the scenes, and you can be much more specific to searching for issues on your project. If we hop into my computer, here's the basic way with how to search for issues on your project. By the way, as the date of the recording of this video for today, what I'm showing is the latest version of Jira. Atlassian does continue to update the software, which is a great thing, by the way, so it's possible that some things may look different depending on when you watch this video. When you log into your Jira account, you're going to see this screen with your product backlog. To search for issues on your project, move your mouse to the very top area of your screen and click on the drop-down menu for filters. And at the very bottom, you can select this option for View All Issues. And then you'll see this screen. You'll notice that we have a bunch of default filters and then one starred filter, which I'll show you how to create this specific filter later on in this video. For example, let's collapse this and then we'll switch and make sure that we're in basic JQL mode. For our example, let's choose the following filters. So project, let's select our project for the e-commerce shopping app. And then for type, instead of saying it's epic bugs or a task, let's keep it simple and let's say that we want to pick a story. And then for status, let's say that it's going to be marked as to do. And then we're going to exit out of this already created filter here for created within the last 30 days. And voila. And you can see that we have issues automatically being shown up on the left-hand side. These are all the issues that meet all of the criteria that we put inside this filter. So for Assignee, let's pick only the user stories that are assigned to me. So that's Alvin. And so now we should have only the issues that are assigned to me. So if you click on them, we have about 7 issues that are assigned to my name. With this basic Jira search, I want you to start thinking through this, is that each one of these parameters that are being filtered here, each one of these parameters is being combined with an AND keyword. So project, e-commerce shopping app, and story type, and status of to do, and assignee assigned to Alvin. If it does not meet any of this criteria, then these issues will not appear in your search results. Now with JQL or Jira Query Language, you can do a lot more filtering than what is capable than with this basic typical searching. To switch to JQL, move your mouse to the top right corner here and select the JQL button. When you do that, you'll see this search box appear that contains the Jira Query Language used to create our basic query. To see everything that's inside this search bar, click on the expanded arrow button that's right here. And then you'll see the window fully expand so you can see the JQL editor. I want you to think of this like the Google search bar, but you have to type in the right combination of keywords so that you get the results that you want to look for. So we have the following: project equals ESA, and type equals story, and status equals quote unquote to do, and assignee equals Alvin, followed by order by created DSC. I want you to note that each one is a separate line. That way it's easier for you to type it out and also to visualize and see what each one is. So DSC, again, means ordering it in descending order. The way it works is that we identify the fields that we wanted and it's connected with several ands here. We have several operators, and finally, Jira added the order by at the very end of this query. If you want to switch back to the basic version of JQL, then click on the basic button that's shown at the top right corner here. Why is this helpful? Well, if you're already doing a basic Jira search for the different issues in your project, you can quickly customize and find the filters that you want to customize, and then go straight into JQL mode, expand the window, and start customizing it using the specific keywords or the operators so you can fine-tune exactly what issue you're looking for. A super helpful tip so you can start using it right away. For our video, I'll show you everything you need to use JQL. But first, let me explain how exactly to use JQL because it can be very confusing and overwhelming, especially if it's your first time. As we get into this, I want to hear from you. What is one area you're struggling with in using Jira? Let me know below and I'll respond to your comment and possibly even make a future video answering your question. So join me in the comments below and I look forward to hearing from you. So using JQL depends on having 4 things. The data field that you want to filter by an operator, the target value that you're searching for, and finally, a keyword. From our previous example, which I'll show on the screen right here, we used data fields for the project, the issue type, the status, and the assignee. The main operator that we use in this filter is the equal sign. The 2 keywords we used were and order by. Let's break down each one that you need so that you can use JQL. The first is the data fields you're filtering by. In Jira, data fields are plain and simple the parameters that contain data. So if we look at our Jira screen here, any of the fields that you have can be used in your JQL query. That can include anything that's showing inside the details box, like the assignee, the reporter, labels, and priority. And it even includes anything that's inside your description and your comments. The second thing that you need is the operator, which compares your data field to the target value that you're looking for. There are several operators that you can use, and we'll go through each of them together. The equal sign is used to find one specific value. For example, looking for the issues where the assignee is assigned to your name only, which in my case is Alvin. So this would output only the issues which are assigned to your name. This can be helpful when you automatically only want a list of your own issues or user stories that you're assigned to. The in operator is used to search for multiple field values that's in a list of items. For example, assignee in, then parentheses, Alvin, Rob. In this JQL query, Jira will list out any issue which is assigned to either Alvin or Rob. The greater than symbol or greater than an equal sign and vice versa, if you use the less than symbol sign, that means that you're comparing values. Let me show you what this would look like with our example. If we include this operator in our JQL query for and created greater than 2024/01/01, then in your search results, it will only show the issues that are created after January 1, 2024. The next operator type is not in, which searches for values other than the one that you provided. So for example, if we modify our JQL query so it says assignee not in, parentheses, Joey, Ross, this is what it would look like. You'll see here that you have to include parentheses around the values that you do not want to include. And we have to put our values inside quotation marks. The next 2 operator types that I don't use as much, but they're worth mentioning here, was searches for former values. So if you type in assignee was Chandler, it will output issues that were previously assigned to Chandler. And the other operator type is changed, which finds values that were changed. For example, let's say that we only want to see issues where the status was changed from to do to done. We can do that by changing this line so it says status changed from to do to done, and we have to make sure that we put both of that text in quotation marks. In my example, after we finish modifying our line, only one issue has been recently changed between these two statuses. And the last operator type is the tilde symbol, which searches for text in different fields. For example, let's say that you're trying to find all the issues which have the words quote unquote checking out listed in its description. Here's how you can do that. We'll add a new line here that says and description tilde symbol followed by checking out in quotation marks. And when we press enter, Jira shows the issue that has the words checking out in it. Let me show you a more applicable example that you can use with the tilde symbol. Let's say that you want to find user stories which have the words shopping cart in its summary, where it says, as a customer, I want to XYZ. Just change the line so it says summary and then specify the exact text that you're looking for in quotation marks. Here we see that we have two user stories that have the words shopping cart in the summary. Now just using these operators will completely change the game for you when you're using JQL. Let's now talk about the JQL keywords that you can use to connect your operators together. A JQL keyword joins two or more clauses together to form a query, or it can alter the logic of an operator. The first JQL keyword is and, which you've seen throughout this tutorial already. When you use and, it combines multiple clauses. For example, finding all open issues in the project for our e-commerce shopping app. That will be coded as project equals ESA and type equals story and status equals to do. So when you press enter, Jira only shows the user stories which are marked with a to-do status, and that's found inside the project for ESA, our e-commerce shopping app. When you use the and keyword, all the values, they have to be correct for that issue to appear in your search result. So if only one value meets that criteria and not the other ones, then it's not going to appear in your JQL search results. It's just something to keep in mind here. The second JQL keyword to use is or, which combines multiple clauses together. For example, let's say that you want to find all the user stories where the due date has not been inputted or the user story itself is overdue. Here's how you would do that. On a new line, we can type here and, followed by an open parentheses, so that Jira evaluates everything inside this parentheses. And then we type in due date is empty, or due date is less than now parentheses. And we close it out with another parentheses. And after you press enter, your JQL search will only output the user stories which are either overdue or do not have a filled in due date. The options are limitless when you use the or keyword, and this is just one example. The third JQL keyword is not, which negates an individual clause inside your JQL query. For example, you could say something like not assignee equals Alvin, and this will only output issues which aren't assigned to Alvin. The other way to type this is to type exclamation mark followed by the equal sign as I'm showing on the screen. The fourth JQL keyword to use is empty. This searches for issues where a field does not have a value. For example, let's say that you want a list of all the issues that are not assigned to a person. Here's how to do that. Type assignee is empty, and after you press enter, Jira will only show the issues where the assignee is empty and isn't assigned to anyone. The JQL keyword for null is very similar to the empty keyword, where it searches for issues where the field does not have a value. For example, typing in assignee equals null into our previous JQL query search. And the last JQL keyword is one that you've already seen me use, which is order by. This specifies how your search results will be sorted, and it needs to be placed at the very end of your JQL query. In most cases, you'll do order by created, where it sorts your issues by creation date. If you want to sort it in ascending order, then you'll add the word ASC, so it sorts everything from lowest to highest creation date. But you can also do order by priority DSC, so it shows your issues in descending order, from highest to lowest priority. With just these keywords and operators, you can create many JQL queries that can save you hours and hours of your time every week. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that like button to show me your support. Oh, and in honor of our project manager's agreement to each other, comment the words "so good" down below so I know you're loving this content, and as a sign of my appreciation, I will respond to your comments. Now let me show you how to create an easy JQL query that you can use right away. To follow along with what I'm doing, I encourage you to create your free account with Jira using my link down below, and to use the data that I've included in my free Jira guide, which you can download at alvinthepm.com/free guide. So let's say that you're involved in quite a few projects. You can filter to only find the open tickets, which are either a user story or a bug that is either a high priority or the highest priority in the current sprint. This is a very simple query, and you can tweak this to best fit your needs. So we're starting with a blank slate here, and the first thing we'll do is filter based on our project, which in our case is the e-commerce shopping app. We'll start the next line with the "and" keyword, and we'll specify the issue type that we want. So we'll enter here parentheses, story, comma, and bug. I want you to see here how we're using the auto suggestion drop-down menu that appears, because it's going to make your life easier to create your JQL query. We'll add in the priority and set it to high, but watch what I do here. I'm going to use the "or" keyword and say priority equals high or priority equals highest, and then I'll add parentheses around this entire clause, so this entire part gets evaluated. A side note here and a tip from my personal experience with JQL: innermost parentheses are evaluated first. So Jira does what's inside your parentheses first. So you want to always start by finding your innermost parentheses and then working your way outwards. I recommend to use parentheses as you start to create more complex JQL queries. Then, in a separate line, we'll specify the sprint we want to filter. So when you type a quotation mark followed by the word sprint, a drop-down menu should appear where you can pick the exact sprint that you want to choose. For our example, let's say that our current sprint is ESA Sprint 7, and then Jira will take that and convert it into its own coded number. And last but not least, we'll add the order by created in descending order. After you press enter, Jira will only show the issues that meet all of this criteria, and we have 3 issues being shown here. Now you can save the filter that you just created. To save your filter, click on the Save Filter that's at the top right corner of your screen, and you'll see this pop-up window appear. In the field for name, let's call it Current Sprint, High and Highest Priority, Stories and Bugs, and click on Save. Once you do that, you'll see your filter saved with this custom name that you just created. What's even cooler is that you can now access this filter in the top menu anytime that you need it. If you click on the filters drop-down menu at the very top, it's the first new filter that we just created. Now this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to using Jira. To learn everything you need with Jira and go from beginner to pro, please watch this video next, and I'll see you in the next video.